the heartbreaking story we're about to share with you. A young woman's abuser remains free, but for her, the crime and cover-up were a death sentence. This smiling face is the Deb Tambor her boyfriend Abe Weiss wants to remember, but he says these pictures only tell half the story.
She had a lot of demons from growing up here in New Square.
Tambor grew up in one of America's most religious communities, a childhood filled with sexual abuse by an uncle Weiss described as a living hell.
The rabbi of this town was very aware of the abuse and just shoved it under the rug.
That treatment forced Tambor to leave the Hasidic community and start a new life with Weiss in New Jersey. But she could never quite shake her tortured past, and last September, at age 33, she went to drastic measures to end the pain.
The only thing we can get out of this is awareness, and people are actively going through the same thing. Abuse being covered up.
Hello, my name is Mark Herzog. I want to talk about that. I can talk and talk and talk and talk for hours about her, but I mean, there's no time for that. No. I just want to say basically how good of a person she was. She always tried to help other people, no matter what. I mean, no matter the time, no matter the day, no matter what. She was always there for you. So I was at their house for a few days, and they had to go somewhere for one day. And before they left, Deb was at the door, and she says, "Mark, this is your house right now. You open up every drawer, every door, every closet, every cabinet. You take whatever you want. You eat whatever you want. This is your house." And she meant that. She was like so dead serious about it. You know, you could see on her expression on her face how serious she was. You could see how good of a person she was. Always try to help other people. Just an amazing, amazing person. It's just a pity that she's not with us anymore. Just a big pity. Now, as for you, Abe, I want to wish you a happy birthday. Lots of health, lots of happiness, lots of strength, you know, lots of strength.
Hi, my name is Shifra Lowen. Abe, this is for you. I'm a busy mama of four, and I don't have time for this, but you really deserve it, and I'm so very grateful for what you did to my dear cousin. You were there for her when nobody else was, and from the moment I really got to know you, I knew that it's worth having a friend like you, and you're one of the kindest people I know. I am grateful for the stories you told me about my dear cousin, and I hardly had a chance to know her since I only found her on Facebook a short time before she passed away, and I consider myself incredibly lucky that she came all the way to celebrate with us my daughter's bat mitzvah, and she was not only a very special human being, but she was full of love, and when she was here, she spent hours with my kids with so much, I don't know how you say it in English, but Übergegebenkeit, and so much care and kindness and so much patience. And to think that she was denied to give that to her very own children, it's so heartbreaking, and I have no words to express the cruelty that was done to her, that she was so cut off from her kids, and she couldn't give them the love that she had to offer.
I didn't know Deb very well. I only met her for about an hour and a half at a barbecue. It was a survivors event for a forum that I had been part of for 2 years. That's how I met Motie, and Deb joined about a month before she died. And even though I didn't know her very well, you sort of get an impression when you meet someone. You get an impression of whether or not there's somebody that you'd want to get to know better, spend more time with. I'd been looking forward to getting to know her at more events, because we were going to have more events, but then unfortunately she took her own life, and I'm not going to get to meet her again. But from what I hear from other people who did know her, from people who saw her very often, from Motie, who I'm friends with, who loved her very much, I get an impression that she was a very, very good person, a very kind and sweet person, and it's a shame. I really, really wish that I could have gotten to know her better.
When I think about Deb, the first thing that always comes to mind is her smile. With twinkling eyes and mischievous dimples, we could always find something to smile about when we were hiking or out to eat. Even when things weren't going that great or one of us was having a tough day, there'd be something to smile about, and that's something I will never forget about Deb. Motie, you have been through more than most people I know and have done tremendous things with grace and a heart that just doesn't stop. I know that things have been tough lately, but I've seen you get through some tough times. Maybe none as tough as this one, but I know you can do it. There are a lot of us out there, obviously myself included, who love you and care about you, value your friendship, and will always be there for you.
As a fellow human being, I cannot sit here silent. I cannot forget nor ignore Deb's and so violent. Life is all I got. My lucky dice, I have a shot. To love, to think, to remember, to cherish, to commemorate, and to fight on. The forces of evil that did therein will bow in agony, for we live her memory. Now we celebrate her struggle, her pain, her rebirth. Never again, never again. Our battle cry roars ahead. One falls for greatness, one defies the rules of war. Many live for emptiness, many want no more. But before we all meet the dust, after the guilt eats us to rust, happy birthday to the bondage of love, forever and ever, Abe and live and Deb above. The beacon of inspiration you ignited, shines, touches, and lights us delighted. You gave birth, you give hope. In the trenches of demise, a smile so sweet to cope. Abe, dear Abe, hear my song of happy, happy birthday. Deb, hear my song of happy, happy birthday. 5-ish brief.
Hi, I'm Leah Vincent, and this message is for anybody who loved Deb. I didn't know Deb well, but it was very clear that she was a fighter and that she had been through some horrible things and tried so hard to move through them and build a new life for herself and love again after being hurt so badly. And it is such a tragedy to not have Deb anymore. But those who remember her and love her and do what they can to help ensure other people don't go through what she went through and just keep her memory alive, I think that adds so much to the world. And I send a lot of love to anybody hurting from her loss and hope that her memory serves as an inspiration for building strong, powerful lives and for keeping up the fight that she so bravely moved through. All the best.
They say first impressions are the most important. And I remember the first time I met Deb. It was at a Footsteps meeting in Muncie. And she was just so easy to talk to and just so nice, and we ended up walking out together, heading towards our cars. And I never met her before, but somehow we just ended up, striking up a conversation on the way to the car. And she was just so nice and cool that we ended up standing out there in the dark in the middle of the night. And I remember it was freezing cold, and we just stood there and talked for probably an hour and a half. She was telling me about her life and her kids, and I was telling her about my story. And it was just so memorable. And that's what stuck with me, was how nice and, like, I feel like she embodies, she was the epitome of the word Adel. She cared so much about other people, and she was just so kind and caring. It really left a lasting impression on me. And that was really what always stuck with me. Even though I later on I met her plenty of other times and got to know her more, that first impression was what really stuck with me. And obviously she's dearly missed. So, happy birthday to you, Motie. And hopefully we never know of such pain again, and we all, we're all here for each other, and we all comfort each other, and hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. We should learn from this to be more demonstrative and be clear, instead of assuming that everybody knows how we feel about each other and that we love and cherish each other. We should be a little more clear about that, and we should say it to each other so we know, instead of assuming that everybody gets it. So again, happy birthday, Abe. We love you. You're important to all of us.
Deb, you always walked the extra mile to help someone. Your legacy of kindness lives on. We are getting together now to make sure that your legacy of kindness and your memory lives on forever.
I've been sitting here for a few minutes now trying to put my thoughts together, and I tried to take a video a couple times, but I'm just not exactly sure how do I put all of my feelings and thoughts regarding Deb into just a little video clip. I remember the first time I met her. It was with Steve and Ricky, and I'm not sure if I maybe knew one of them before, maybe I knew Steve a little bit or whatever it is, but I definitely didn't know Deb and Ricky, and I wound up spending the whole afternoon with them, and pretty long time. Everyone was very welcoming, especially Deb, and Steve and Ricky were as well, and I don't know if I've had that experience before where I didn't know anybody, and just treated like a normal part of the group. I guess what struck me a lot about Deb was that I only actually met her a few times in real life, personally, face to face, and she would always light up. Her face would light up when she saw me, and I don't think it was just me. I think it was anybody basically, and it was such a genuine and beautiful hello, how you doing, how have you been. There are not too many people who really care that much about you. It's and it's even if she looked like she was having a bad day, or it didn't make a difference, she wouldn't put that on you. That wasn't something that was a reason for her not to greet you happily, and because she was happy to see you and she sincerely was interested in how I was doing, and I don't know, it's just that smile. I don't know if that smile's ever gonna leave my head.
Happy birthday, dear Abe and Deb. My first memory of Deb was at a party. It was probably one of the first few times she had a drink, and she was concerned that people would get the wrong impression of her. But of course, anybody who knew Deb saw that she was a kind, compassionate person who was concerned about her friends' feelings and was always the first person to cheer people up. I also have experience with both of you organizing and participating in protests, even in the hot summer days, standing up for what's right, speaking out to protect other children, and fighting injustice. I would like to read a poem by Marie Elizabeth Fry. Do not stand at my grave and weep. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am in 1,000 winds that blow. I am the softly falling snow. I am the gentle showers of rain. I am the fields of ripening grain. I am in the morning hush. I am in the graceful rush. I am in the graceful rush of beautiful birds in circling flight. I am the starshine of the night. I am in the flowers that bloom. I am in the quiet room. I am in the birds that sing. I am in each lovely thing. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I do not die. Abe, may this coming year and the years to come be full of happiness, healing, and solace for all of us.
Deb, I didn't really know her very well. I didn't know her very long, but her presence on Facebook was very big, and that's basically how I knew her. I did meet her once or twice in person, but on Facebook that's where you can really see her personality. She was just this giving person. She would take care of everyone and make sure everyone's okay. And even though it wasn't in person, the way she would respond to people on Facebook and just make sure that they're feeling okay, and would compliment them and make them feel like $1 million. Whoever got a comment from Deb felt like $1 million just because of what she would say and what she would put out there, for everyone to see. And she was one of those unique people that made you feel good whenever you were around her. She would make sure to have a nice word to say, and she always would. She would always have these honest things to say that you can't help but say, oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe I am a person like that. Maybe there is some good to me. So that's kind of the person that I knew for Deb to be as.
Hey, Deb. Never actually met you in real life. But I feel probably like everyone else that hasn't, that I sort of know you so well through all the pictures that Abe has been posting, through all the information, all the sentiments that everyone's been saying. I just feel I know you. I refuse to write down notes for what I was going to say now because I just want it to be natural, and I just want to speak my mind for a minute. I guess the goal in everyone's life is to have their life be meaningful, and although yours ended prematurely, and I could only imagine what was going on inside your head to have that take place. But I can't think of another person that has made more of an impact in people's lives than you have. You gave a wake-up call to so many OTD people, so many people in general. You crossed over genres. You've made me, with my family, even people I haven't spoken to, reconsider those things. Think about, am I being selfish? Am I being stupid? Am I being stubborn for no reason whatsoever? Literally not a day goes by where I don't think about the ramifications of the entire story of your life. It's sad but beautiful at the same time. The impression that you left on me without even knowing you is something that has changed me as a person, and I mean that sincerely. It's made me rethink my positions in life, my goals in life, and I'm sure it's done so much more to people that actually know you personally. I wish you could know how you impact and how you've impacted so many people, and just a beautiful human being, just a beautiful legacy, a beautiful story ended so sadly, but hey, you made a difference in people's lives. Who are we to judge you? And I really hope your children can understand the sacrifices you've made and the type of person that you were, and I'm just glad to, in the periphery, at least have been part of your life. So thank you.
I'll never forget sitting at the library in RCC, or the lab in RCC, and I was on my computer and there was this woman sitting next to me on her computer, and I had a computer question, and I asked her the question, and then the truth is, to be honest, these were the early days of when I came back to Muncie, and I really didn't know a lot of people, and I wanted some friends, and I surely didn't know people with my background who had been from and now weren't, and I yearned for that. And as she was about to turn back to her computer, I realized I heard something in her accent, and I said, by any chance, do you have a from background? And she was shocked that I could figure it out, because I heard something in her accent, and we started talking, and since then I and Deb would be friends, and every time I would see her we would always joke about how I figured out so fast that she had a similar background. And that being said, of course, as you can imagine, I miss Deb dearly. I was always so proud of her, and she worked so hard at life, and she always had that life and that passion in her, and you know, I'll always miss that smile, and I'll never understand why it had to happen the way it did, and I'll always miss her.